What's the telly?
We are live.
Hi. Hi.
Howdy ho.
Got your tablet ready?
Yep.
Right.
Nobody watching yet, so just keep saying hello.
Hello, hello, hello. This is me. Are you there? Ho, ho, ho. Diddle-o, diddle-o.
Egil calling YouTube.
Egil.
We've got one watcher.
Ah, hi.
And hello.
Who is it?
Don't know, I'll have a look in a minute.
Hi there. Thanks for watching. And we hope to enter into conversation with you.
Yes.
Bragi's here, but he's behind the camera at present.
This is my hand.
There's his hand. And yeah, well, today I don't know whereabouts you're from, but the weather here is starting to cloud over, even allowing for night time.
Oh, it's the Northworthy weather report.
Yeah.
In today's weather, it is mostly raining.
Yeah, I nearly got wet then as you knocked me horn.
Oh, I'm not, don't say that on camera often.
Wet depressions, matron. So, if you've got a question, please ask and we'll see what we can do for you.
I've just got to go and find the live stream.
He's just got to find the live stream. You probably know more about that than I do. Hang on, here we go. There's all icons over it. See, I know the jargon. There's icons. We've had a pretty good day today. We've done a couple of combat videos, haven't we?
Yeah, we've done one combat video.
A thing on the Danax.
You'll see that very soon when we get 700 subs.
And of course the giant chopping corn for people.
Well, that is the old hop giant, which is a Finnish folk tale. And perhaps let's talk about giants for a minute. I mean, giants are very interesting, aren't they, as I remove my axe?
Oh, they're a big issue. Oh dear. Help. We've sort of gone a bit previous because we've just been outside. There's shields and swords and God knows what.
Yes, I'm trying to get the Wi-Fi going.
Yeah, he's trying to get the Wi-Fi going. This is professionally what's called trying to fill in time. He's leaping about again.
I never do leaping about. That is a wild rumour.
Yeah, don't you believe it? He's skipping like a pixie. But,
I've never skipped in my life. I once pretended to be a tree on camp, but that's another story.
Oh well, what can
I'm
I
a
say?
tree.
I can only apologise for the insanity. I'm not held responsible. Has he got this up and running yet?
Not yet, because I can't get my Wi-Fi on my tablet. You carry on talking.
Well, I keep talking. I'm sorry about this.
Be professional.
I am professional. I don't leap around like a pixie. But as I say, we've had a pretty busy afternoon doing folk stories, history, talking about Anglo-Saxon warriors and Anglo-Saxon peasants, about Dane axes, and giving people tips on reenactment. I don't know if you're into reenactment at all. It's great fun. It's a good way to go out and meet people. I was in it for, must be going on 13, 14 years. And we used to go up and down the country to events, and it was great fun. And for a time I earned my living going around schools, teaching children, well, and adults, about the Vikings. One time I even worked for Joby in York. Well worth a visit, especially if you come to the States or somewhere like that from abroad. Worth a visit.
What's your top 3 Dark Age sites in England to visit then?
Top 3, oh my goodness. Well, first of all, it'd be Jorvik. Then there's some of the stone circles in Derbyshire, Doltor. And of course, Sutton Hoo. Sutton Hoo, I was lucky enough to dig there when I was a student. I did resistivity surveys. It's an amazing place. Overlooks the River Deben, and you've got Iron Age sites. There's actually a Neolithic site underneath, which the Saxons reoccupied. I was lucky enough to be on Martin Carver's team as a student. We were testing the then new resistivity, now it's old hat. But very interesting site. If you're ever in Derbyshire, there are some great stone circles, well worth a visit. Nine Ladies being one, Dodd Tour the other, and as I say, well worth a visit, and as long as you treat the place with respect, it'll be great. I mean, Derbyshire, I'm biased because I live here, is a beautiful county, especially to the north. It's very much like the film Lord of the Rings, very hilly. South Derbyshire, I'm not decrying that. That's also got some beautiful places. I'm lucky I live in Derby itself, which is in the middle. Probably wondering why I'm rambling on about Derby. Well, Derby is a Viking city, and I associate myself with the Vikings, although my antecedents are actually Saxons from the West Country. My mother's maiden name was Branscombe, which means Raven Valley, and we've got quite a long and illustrious history. We are here before William the Conqueror, and in spirit we're still here. So yes, you know, I'm very much biased about England. I think it's a beautiful country. We're in a part where we're in the city centre of Derby. You're what, 5-10 minutes away from countryside. To one air direction we have Mark Eaton Park, and near here is Darley Abbey Park. It's a 2-minute walk, 3-minute walk, and we're very lucky with that. You can walk through parkland right up to the centre of Derby. You've got plenty of historical sites like the old silk mill where I used to work 10 years. And here's Bragi. How are we
Hello,
doing?
I'm back again. We're now online.
Ah, jolly good. Is that person still on?
No, well, one person watching, that could be us, but we'll just keep going.
Okay.
Because eventually someone might find that we're live streaming and then join.
Well,
We don't often advertise in advance these live streams.
well, it's not always easy,
And
is
it's
it?
always an extra bonus for you folks
Yeah.
that we do live stream.
Please send us a question. Don't be shy. If we can answer it, we will. If we can't, then we research it. And your light's gone out again.
No, it's just
Oh,
okay.
right.
I've not figured out yet how to alter the screen from turning off in the settings. It makes you think, how would Vikings get on with modern technology today? Will they end up smashing it up with an axe or not?
Depends on the person. I think it's like like you and me. You can pick it up. I can't. I can email and text, and that's about it.
Oh, we have a comment here from a very good subscriber who has a good channel, and that's Dragler. And we now
Hi,
feature his
Dragler.
channel on our featured channels, and he
great.
does the same for us.
Oh.
So we do appreciate that, don't we, Egil?
I appreciate that. Yeah.
You know, it's all about supporting each other on channels.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's not a competition.
No.
It's, you know, it's supplying a service to the public.
I mean, in traditional old business, you know, business is a bad thing, but on YouTube it's not, because
No.
they're your friends, and
Yeah.
by communicating and getting to know other YouTubers and your subscribers, you share your knowledge.
Well, they can make you or break you, can't they?
If you have any questions for Egil, please do
Or
so.
Bragi.
Oh, indeed me, yeah. Yes, so did he enjoy the combat today then? I did.
Yeah, it was all right. I liked it because we were doing it slowly, and it was more instructional rather than confrontational.
Yeah, there's a guy called Roland. I can't remember his last name, we'll all pronounce it. But I think he's from, lives in Germany, and he does combat things. One of the things you don't often think about Egil is that not everybody who's into Viking swords may be a reenactor, because there's such a thing now as sword combat, and that's very popular. Medieval sword combat trials and competitions where you're not fundamentally doing it as a reenactor, but you're doing it because you like to fight with a sword, and that's really growing. And
I actually did a commentary on a video which never was released at Egremont with a person we both know.
yes,
And it was basically a competition for swords, and you got medieval, you got Viking, you had futuristic sword play, and there was a guy with medieval period won it. He was a bit what we call around here Mardy, because he lost one and started moaning.
there is a correct name for this hobby, but I can't remember it at the moment.
Oh, right.
Dragler says like family, and yes,
Oh,
it is. You
it
know,
is.
a community on YouTube is like his family. You know, we love all you guys and
Yeah.
girls. You know, it's such a great community we have.
Well, you know, I mean, this is it. We're all dependent on each other. One hand washes the other, and yeah, that's what it's all about. And got anything else?
No, we'll just keep chatting. We're good at that.
Well, like I say, I mean, I'll tell you what, today's been a good day because I saw a robin and a magpie.
Well, yes.
See, well, I can hear you say hot puppies. Well, the robin is associated with the god Thor.
Very true, that.
And I just like magpies. I think they're groovy animals. They get a bad press.
Well, they're not like any other bird, are they?
They say they're black and white. They're not. They're blue and white.
Yeah, it's a bit like very, very dark blue socks again.
Our father dead.
Oh, that keeps coming up, that does.
Yeah.
In one of the last videos we did, Egil.
But they are. I like birds anyway. But I have my favourites, of course, the raven.
Have you ever had a pet bird, like a budgie?
Yeah, they drive you around the twist budgerigars with the noise. My mum used to have a white budgie called Fred, and we've had various budgies. But what she did have, and they didn't last very long, were two songbirds from abroad, and they used to sing beautifully. But I don't know, they didn't last very long. Whether we didn't look after them right.
What did they think about birds in Viking mythology and culture?
Well, looking at the diet, they eat anything apart from ravens, crows, eagles, because these are sacred to Odin. They even ate badgers, believe it or not.
Yeah, I can't change the title on the video on this. Digging for Britain has been on this title for a few times now. Digging for Britain is a TV series, a very good series. I think they're in season 2.
What's it called?
So this live stream was an old live stream title. It was Digging for Britain. That was on about a couple of months ago.
Oh, that's where Alice Roberts is on.
I just don't know how to change the title.
Oh well, if you know, let us know.
It's I'm using an app called Streamlabs. So it's something I'm going to have to look up and probably go to Dean Nimin, who's a very good YouTuber on how to use these apps, and have a look at that. But if you do get to see the Digging for Britain series on the BBC iPlayer or the BBC World app, then I do recommend looking them out.
The last one I saw of that was Alice Roberts went to the Fens.
Yes.
And found what they call the English Pompeii, which was interesting. It was a village that had sort of been set out in the river, and they think it got burnt down.
Because on that site they found some very interesting wooden turned items. One of them they wasn't quite sure what it was, and then they had such marvellous floors as well. Really good TV.
The thing that struck me, I mean, I was lucky enough to go to York as a student, and we would dig there, and the soil there is called anaerobic. It's black, and what it does is the microbes that eat organic material are preyed upon by the microbes that are in the anaerobic soil. So organic stuff that normally is lost is preserved. They even fished out 9th century cloth, which was black herringbone. I found wood, and there's all kinds of marvellous stuff in York I loved.
I think on the second episode they went to an Anglo-Saxon graveyard, and I think they found a woman and she had over 40 beads.
Yeah.
But they also found a Visigovic brooch, very nicely enamelled. This kind of showed you the length of trade, that they actually got Visigovic stuff from Lower Spain.
Am I thinking of the same programme where Dan Snow was talking to Bone Jones? He was one of my tutors.
Well, that was Digging for Britain programme, that.
Yeah. Well, the guy Bone Jones is fantastic. He was one of my tutors, and his specialty is poo. And he gives a lecture for about 2 hours, and it's one of the most fascinating lectures I've ever been to, and makes complete sense.
What's the correct term for that in archaeology then?
Coprolites.
Well, why did they call it coprolites?
I don't know. That's what I was told. Probably from the Latin, I don't know. But
do you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bone Jones is the leading authority on coprolites. It sounds ha ha ha, but it's thanks to him that we know what diet the Vikings had in Jorvik, how much of a skeleton of a fish is absorbed by the human body. And he's also very entertaining. If you're out there, Bone Jones, you probably don't remember me.
Well, you will do when you're infamous.
Yeah. trust me, he didn't know my name when I was working with him.
Yes, but it also kind of shows you that we often think about archaeology and we think about the big find, the bling, the jewellery, the gold and the silver, but we forget about the microscopic bits, you know, the seeds and the shells, the microscopic shells and stuff that
We
found.
had a guy at York whose speciality was pollen.
Yes.
And to me, pollen is either round, rugby ball. And this guy knew chapter and verse. I mean, strength to the guy for it. And you get people who specialise in things. I mean, it's like they emptied the gutters of the archaeology department.
I bet you didn't have hay fever.
I don't know, I just don't get. But they found out, because somebody once asked, where do flies go in winter? Most of them die and end up in your gutters, things like that. Those that aren't eaten by other critters. Some flies hide away and lay their eggs and get a new lot next following year. So it answers basic questions like, why are sites buried and some are not? Well, if you look in the sun, look in the sunbeams, you see dust. And a disturbing fact is that 20 to 30% of the topsoil is discarded human skin.
Yeah, that's quite freaky, that really.
Yeah.
You think about all the bits of hair and skin.
We're shedding skin all the while, and also people landscape the land, they bury stuff, they take stuff out. So that explains why some are still freestanding, like the fort at Manfrotto. The front part is still there, whereas if you go to Derby, it's underground, a lot of it. It's just the way of it. And it varies, there's no standard depth, you know, like 20 feet. Oh, here we are in the medieval period. Depends on the lay of the land. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we often don't think about the fact that over time we had layers and layers and layers, and not just a few inches or feet. You're talking a lot of layers in some cases, you know.
Well, I mean, getting back to coprolites, I've dug them, and it looks like bits of concrete. Feels like it as well. Some places you dig, you actually get the smell. Let me tell you, 1,000-year-old lavatories, woof. But the coprolites are put in a jar, filled with acid, screwed up, and left to dissolve. And you'll find lots of bone, air seeds, things like that. And that's how they're broken down. Interesting thing, which may surprise people, we found a human coprolite, brought it back down to its constituent parts. There were cherry stones with teeth marks on, and a mouse had been munching at this coprolite, and also that the Vikings swallowed the stones and they passed through them. It was quite funny sitting in class with Bone Jones with some quite refined ladies. He said, okay, when you go to the lavatory, what stuff doesn't get digested?
Sweet corn.
Yeah, that was one, yeah. And then he says, tomatoes, yeah.
Don't know, I don't eat tomatoes.
Oh, I do. I know you say they're the instrument of the devil.
They are the Loki's work.
Ah, they're nice. But anyway, see these pretty ladies from, you know, it's quite amusing. You had to be there. Any more questions?
Not at the moment, it's still quite quiet on the live stream.
Yeah.
We're going to have a Thomas coming on and sharing it a bit, but never mind, you know, we'll get these. But the live stream will be made public afterwards, the day after or so. So, you know, if we do an hour's live stream, then that will give us a boost on the channel with our watch time. It's always good to boost that.
Huh.
So, you probably don't understand what watch time is.
Time that people have watched the said channel.
Yeah, another thing people don't understand is what are impressions?
Ah, I know what an impression is, but not in this context.
Well, what do you think it is then?
An impression is an indentation or a pattern that's left by application of pressure.
Yeah, well, in our case on YouTube, an impression is how many times somebody sees your video, how many times your video you get seen. So I think at average at the moment we're being seen around about 45,000 times a month, and from that we've got a click-through rate of about 3.5, going up to 3.6 at the moment. So
Right.
It's going up. If you have anything between 2 and 4%, you're doing quite well. So let's just continue this. Because I know one of the subjects which a lot of people will be quite interested in hearing about a bit more in a live stream is runes. Because they are a fascinating subject.
Yeah, we didn't actually study runes at university. However, I've been into runes since be about just before I went to university. About 1986 was when I first really got into them. It depends what you want to do with them. I learned quite a lot about them before I went to uni, and I can actually write runes as you write Arabic letters. The magical side of it, well, that's up to the individual. I'm not going to comment on that. It's up to the individual, not for me. Academically, we know that you could use them magically, or you can use them to write names. The classic case being merchant tags. They look like tent pegs, and they'll have, say, a name on it. Well, let's say Bragi. They would be pushed into bales of cotton and things like that, and you knew that that bale belonged to Bragi, or if it's got Egil, it belongs to Egil. There are also, which we hope to cover in the rune series, secret runes.
Ah.
There are tent runes, beard runes, fish runes.
Beard runes?
Yeah, I will show you that, and it's quite entertaining to see them, and that's because when people cast spells, if they were hidden, or they wanted to have a set secret message, they thought it was stronger than if they were hidden. So I will show you those at a later date. So click on to #runes, and I'm sure you'll pick them up. But it's not going to be for a while because we've still got to finish the Elder Fourth Arc.
Yes, which will probably end in September to early October. I mean, I could probably give you an actual date when it will end.
Well, I could cover the tent runes and things in one session.
And then we'll probably produce a couple of more runic videos talking about the Northumbrian runes before we start season 2, which will be for 34 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that kind of shows you how committed we are, that the fact that we're prepared to film a series for 34 weeks, which, you know.
Certainly puts me on my mettle.
But, you know, what a great legacy we're all leaving behind for this wonderful world.
Yeah. And as I say, we're anxious, if you are following the course, to see how you're getting on. Which I'm sure.
Yes, admittedly, I don't know a great deal about the runes. I've probably forgotten a lot which I learnt. But I don't use runes. I don't have the need to use them. I don't seek my knowledge from the runes. I've got other sources.
Upon their need.
Yeah. X marks the spot. Yeah. Well, that's another interesting point. How common, which do you think is the most common rune in use today? And I was quite surprised by, the rune.
It's obvious when you think about it. Yeah, it isn't until you said it.
Well, it's only mainly because I think Thomas pointed it out to me. So thank you for that, Thomas.
Right.
We had a lovely beer in town the other day.
And no combat.
No. One day we might teach Thomas to do some combat.
No, I meant in the pub.
Oh, no, not in the pub now.
We had a nasty incident there.
Yeah, well, that's another story. I don't say it's a nasty incident.
I thought it was petty and stupid, but it's nothing.
Well, not from our point of view.
It wasn't his point, it wasn't his fault.
Well, they don't know what you're on about.
Well, people who drink too much and open their mouths too much always end in trouble.
And do you think that's a common thing, or do you think in the old days, go back 1,000 years,
same thing,
you would have had problems with people not handling the mead or the wine?
Well, I mean, it's a Hammerval they talk about.
Oh, we've got 3 people watching. Hello and hello.
And they would say, don't drink to excess because a drunk sounds like a fool.
But you're not lived until you got drunk and put a traffic cone on your head.
Wait till you wake up naked in a stranger's bed. I've done that.
Yeah, well, it does make you think there, how would they handle drink back in the day? And how would they handle the hangover? Let's face it,
Well,
these days we go and get
them.
some aspirins. Do you not? You're lucky.
Yeah. You chew on some willow bark, but don't do that.
Well, willow twigs are also very good for cleaning your teeth when you get a bit of soot from your fire, and you can roll that in and clean your
The
teeth.
sap actually is what's used in aspirin.
There was a very good video from Modern History TV It is like a real professional channel, unlike us.
We'll get in there.
Yeah, well, we are.
Okay.
That's my joke. That is to dig a
Who
dam.
we got?
So I've got a comment here from Thomas Dale,
Hello, Thomas.
as I like to call him, Thomas of Dale.
With the onion.
Yes, hello. I'm finally here.
Hi.
I was in the shower and I got caught up doing something after.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweeping the floor.
Well, I sent him a little text earlier and know that we were planning a live stream.
It's all
Because
coming out.
if you don't know who Thomas is, he's a part of the team on the channel. He does a wonderful, wonderful job of sharing, and he's by far one of the best people I know for hashtags.
I'll have to get him on.
We will do.
People can see what he looks like.
Yeah. We've got a kit for you, Thomas.
Yeah.
Got to keep logging back in. Cursed Loki.
Well, are you sure it's not Samsung, the mighty? Oh, what's the next one?
We've got Ancient Survival.
Hi, Ancient.
There's no worse burden on the road than an overdrink of ale.
Yeah.
Definitely so.
I'm with you on that. Don't drink, don't drive.
No.
Don't use your phone either.
Phone's just as dangerous, if not more so.
And always look out.
Equally.
Always to look out for motorbikes and cycles.
Yes.
Yeah?
You always got to give room for motorbikes.
As I was walking over here, there was one guy. I think he nearly became a mascot. And what's the next one?
So I've got a couple more comments here. So Thomas Dale, yeah, getting up at 6 AM with a hangover to do a day's worth of ploughing must have been tough
Yeah, yeah.
and a bit laborious. But at least in those days, you didn't have a clock on the wall to look at.
I'm saying now. I'll just say.
Is it 4 o'clock yet? No.
So,
and Thomas Dale says, hello, Egil.
hello, Thomas.
Now, if you guys got any questions about the runes, I know Egil's more than happy to answer some questions on this subject, one which we are very interested in. And I must say, I've been learning a few things from this series, so well done.
But also, those of you who are doing it, I'm anxious to see how you're getting on with them. I know it's a bit of a nuisance that you haven't got the full set yet, but hey, little steps.
So, Dragler says, hey guys.
Hi.
And Thomas Dale, hello Dragler. And Ancient Survival. And Ancient Survival says, hello Thomas.
Wow.
So, what great subs you are.
Yeah, friendships.
Oh, yes.
But that goes to demonstrate that it's like a family. Everybody asks how everybody is.
Oh, yeah, we all care for each other. I love that.
You know, it's like where people talk to other people because they heard of it through here. Doesn't mean to say they've got to talk to us, but we're always glad to hear from you.
Oh, definitely so.
Yeah.
And we had a wonderful comment from a new commenter yesterday saying how great our channel is and how he's loving the banter, which I will reply to later on.
Yeah, I mean, we do get a lot of comments, but we will get to you. But the trouble is there's a lot. There's only
Well,
three
let me
of us.
explain how I deal with the comments. Because I'm subscriber with the channel is to TubeBuddy, we have an app. So I can basically go and select various options. And one of the options I often do is select the option comments that need a reply, or select the option that comments that need a follow-up. And then I can go through all the comment threads and find comments from months ago that need a reply. And that does happen. There'll be no doubt comments from 6 months ago that I'm not replied to yet. But I will try to.
He will get there, don't worry.
Got to go log in again. I keep typing the wrong number.
Oh well.
Vikings didn't have such problems.
Well, there you go there. Only had 5, 10 at most.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Back in again.
Sorry.
Celtic God's here.
Hi, Celtic.
Hello, Celtic.
You.
Good afternoon, lads, he says. Good
Oh,
afternoon, lads.
Good afternoon to you.
Got a little comment here from Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Egil,
Yeah.
once all the runes have been covered, would you perhaps be up for a live stream or something doing a questions and answer session on the runes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll try to arrange that on a Sunday. And if I can figure out how to schedule it as well to advertise it in advance, I will do.
I think it's probably best until we've finished the 4th arc.
Yeah, but that's going to be September.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, let's do it right.
And Dragula says, get antlered 1 in 2. Oh, yes. So, invite all those people.
Yeah.
I don't think the battery's going to die for a bit because it's on the charger this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remembered.
It happens.
And of course, we're not far away from having 3 special videos published to celebrate 700 subs.
Yeah.
Although 2 of them will be on the channel and the other one's going to be on the other channel. And did you want to talk about telling your folk tale today of the 3 little pigs? And what you did?
Which one?
Both of them.
Oh, right.
Without telling the second one. Or the first
Right,
one.
well, there's 2. We're actually having a go, and just to see if it floats. More adult versions of the story with language to match.
Yes.
If you have children or offended, don't listen to them.
They won't be on the main channel.
No. Bragi will tell you.
The main channel will always be a family-friendly channel.
And we did the 3 little pigs.
Yep.
There's a child's version I did with the little piglets, Pipsqueak and Wilfred. But if you want something a bit more porky, then go on to, was it Bragi Magnarsson?
Yes.
And you'll find that there's that one there. And
Well, it's private at the moment.
yeah.
Although I did learn something the other day on YouTube, which I did not realise, that if you have all your videos on private setting and you watch those videos, the watch time won't go for your 4,000 hours unless it's unlisted.
So
I probably made a big mistake there. But you learn something new every day.
Well, there you go.
So I'm going to read a comment here from Celtic God.
Mm-hmm.
You said it right. I liked it better when you called him the altered one.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I don't know why. There's some days when I read things, I just don't see the right letters. Do you get that?
Yeah, it's called dyslexia. You can't help it.
I don't think I have dyslexia, but I just think, when you know something's wrong, but you still do it,
Yes, dyslexia. Sometimes the words bounce up and down, and sometimes you can't focus on the word. Or you're thinking the word, but you can't say it.
Yeah.
You can get glasses, different colour lenses that help.
And Thomas Dale says these words, hello, Celtic God. And Celtic God says greetings at Thomas Dale. And Draglar, my channel got mixed up last stream too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, it does happen.
Yeah.
But streaming is a really good way to communicate with your fans and your subs. And it's also a very fun way of doing it. I mean, I bet you never thought in your life, last year you ended up doing a live stream like this.
I'll be honest, I didn't think we'd last a year. I thought,
Did you not?
No, well, I didn't at the time, but when you get into it and you get...
But did you have lots of expectations then?
I don't have any expectations.
No, I generally don't.
Because whatever it becomes like, your next thing you know, you're all in the world, and of course, then he doesn't, and you're disappointed. And I'm happy. We're jogging along. We're doing quite good progress. People seem to like what we're doing, so best keep doing it.
I read a comment on Facebook the other day on one of the YouTube channel sites I go to. It's Brian G. Johnson TV. And there's a guy saying, I'm trying to concentrate on my subs, and should I be concentrating on my sub numbers, and it's worrying me. And I just left a comment, no, don't worry about your subs. Just concentrate on the content you're making and have fun doing it. Because after all, what you're doing on YouTube should be a fun journey. If you're not enjoying it, you're not doing something right there.
And if you've got something that's worth watching, people will watch it. And that means quality of your product.
And Thomas Dale says, it is why Bragi is infamous. The mispronunciations.
I can't help it.
Well, I did have a speech problem when I was young,
well,
to be fair.
It's easy to laugh, but it's not right. I mean, you imagine you're trying to say a word and it just won't come out. That's
yes, well, I now figured out antiquaries and antiquities.
Yeah. Well, when I was a kid, I used to find the word linoleum. I couldn't say it. Came out. And Marilyn.
Marilyn.
Came out as Mallorin.
Yeah, that's a funny word, Marilyn, isn't it? Marilyn Monroe. I get a fan.
No, we had a girl at primary school called Marilyn. And I used to call her Mallorin. And she looked at me gone out.
And Celtic Garden, we've got 5 people watching. Wonderful, 5 people they are. One of them was me, I think. Success as anything is subjective. And that's from Celtic God.
Yeah, it is. What is success?
Well, I have this, when I think to myself, well, what have I done in my life and what does it mean to be successful? And I don't think successful today is having a mortgage and having a house and a car. I mean, you can't take it with you.
Which I wouldn't mind.
And there's no reward at the end of the day for getting a mortgage, is there?
No.
You know, you're just slaving away all your life trying to pay for something what you're going to enjoy for a few years. It's definition of madness.
Yeah, you just got to try your best and help people where you can.
And Celtic God, we only pick on people we like. Everyone else we ignore. Yeah, oh yes, they're the best of friends.
Yeah.
Oh yes. If you can't take a mickey out your mate and both love each other at the end of the day, well, what can you do?
Well, banter between us is good humoured. We know we don't mean it.
Oh no.
But a bit of a laugh is a bit of a laugh, and that's what it is. That's how we can keep going.
We've already had one argument on camera,
Yeah.
and that's a fake argument during the video of Life of Teenagers in the Dark Ages. It's not been published yet.
Alright.
Because I thought we often neglect the teenagers on this channel. You know, a lot of, we do have lots of young people, and let's face it, being a teenager is not easy. It wasn't easy when you was a teenager. It wasn't easy for me, and probably the rest of us.
It's, I mean, teenagers were sort of invented in the 50s, but
Probably so.
adolescents would be.
Well, did you have a chance to be a teenager back in the day?
I wasn't allowed, because somebody once asked me,
Well, the Dark Ages.
were you a mod or a rocker? And I said I was neither. I wasn't allowed to. I had to be a carbon copy of my dad. I soon blew that out of the water in the 70s though. Whoa. And I look pretty much the same as I did in the 70s.
You're not changed much.
No, not a lot.
One day you have to show in that university picture of you.
Oh, what, holding the scroll?
Yeah. So I've got a couple more comments. Give me a minute. Yes, come on screen. This is from Thomas Dale. Celtic God, that's right. And Thomas Dale spoke these words in another comment. It's a good job. Everyone here is likeable. And don't forget, folks, to go and like this live stream.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends and your granny, your uncle, auntie, best friend.
Mine are all dead.
Apparently, I got an uncle called Bob. Anyway.
I had an uncle called Bob.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I've got a comment here from Tangi.
Hi, Tangi.
Hello, dears.
How you doing, babe?
And hearts, how are you? Very well, thank you.
All the better for hearing from you.
And Tangi says, Thomas Hun, big purple heart and a face full of hearts. Now, Ancient Survival says these words. The word scold comes from scold, and the word scoff from scop. Teasing was a great art in the Viking Age.
Yeah, I mean, Viking Age, yeah, I mean, a lot of the jokes and nicknames are jokes.
Of course so.
There was a guy they dug up called Juice Head. and they were saying, oh, well, he sucks juice from the... No, he wasn't. He was a guy who drank too much. Hence the name Juice Head. And if their kettles are slim, it means he's fat. It's a joke they have, but, you know.
Well, you know, it makes you think, you know, jokes are a very old thing. Particularly like a joke on this channel.
Well, I mean, humour changes so much through the years. I mean, when I was growing up, you had Malcolm and Wise.
Oh, yes.
Very funny people.
Yes.
In the 70s, but it's not aging well. However, Laurel and Hardy, wow.
That's another fine mess.
Still funny today. And I don't know why, but some humour lasts. Others, it just becomes annoying. I mean...
Because you get outdated humour as well.
I mean, there's also references to stuff that we don't know about. And controversial. It'll be the same in another 30 years. Humour will move on. If you look at the so-called new comedians.
Well, I hope we're still funny in 30 years.
Yeah, I hope
the content
so.
we're making now, I think it will be.
Well,
I think this will be evergreen.
It's like you look at the new comedians. I find them about as funny as toothache. Most of them.
It's like comedy shows. A lot of them I just don't find funny at all.
And yet, you know, when they started out, they're all what they call gob and nostrils, you know, and they were going to do this, and now they're hosting shows, and they've become the very thing they said they were not going to be. So I get on my whole horse about so-called comedians, and a lot of them I just find irrelevant. And just because you've got a Marks and Spencer suit and a shirt, and you go and patronise your audience, that's not comedy.
I think you'll make a better comedian.
Well,
so we've got some more comments. So Tangi says Bragi, purple hearts and Egil, big purple heart. I don't really understand these emoji things.
I don't care.
And then Celtic God says, I I have an uncle, Bob too. We must be related. Oh, great. Long lost brother.
I know my Uncle Bob was the one with
Very
the
proud to
ladies.
adopt you.
Yeah.
And Tanji says, oh yeah, I'm doing fabulous, dears. Thank you for asking. Well, we always like to take care and ask how our subs are.
Yeah, and big hugs back to you.
I often do it in our videos as well, because it's always nice to take that time and ask.
Yeah.
It's a shopping day today, and I'll be on the hunt for magical goodies.
Oh.
We'll have a wonderful day.
Who's that, Tanji?
Tanji.
Ah, you up the craft. Good on you,
Dragler
mate.
says, hey Layla.
Oh,
That's the Tanji. And Celtic God, we do like reading your comments,
yeah.
says, yes, people don't think the name Bluetooth was anything but a jab at him, do they?
Well, it's in acknowledgement because he held an empire
Yes.
and Bluetooth sort of covers that area.
I mean, I use Bluetooth from the
Yeah.
headphones. There's Bluetooth on this here. So it's a good legacy, isn't it?
Well, if you notice, the logo for it is a binary.
Yes.
Bjork and Tew. We'll explain about binaries again in the Runecast. In fact, next Runecast lesson I do, Rune Chat, I will talk about binaries.
Right, Bine Runes. Right, I'll try to remember that.
Yeah.
If you don't.
Yeah. We'll just write it down and we'll be sound.
What, on another list?
This guy's got more boards than
Well, you know,
ICI.
what's another thing you have to struggle with? And, you know, you're struggling with keeping up with the content and what we're planning to do and what we're doing. It all takes a lot of organisation, and, you know, I've already got a little brain.
Well, I've got to say, I mean, I'm just the eye candy, and Bragi puts in a lot of hours. You wouldn't believe how many hours. And a lot of the ideas come from him as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, so step up and do
Yeah.
some more research.
Nah, that's Tom's job.
Yeah, well, we're suffering along when we run out of content because we haven't got no research. But, oh, yeah. But we're doing okay.
We'll get there.
I mean, the amount of content we've got to do is just unbelievable. Now, let's go back to some comments. Let's have a look where we were. Yes, so one from Tanji, Thomas. There's a special shop here you absolutely love, and I'm hoping they will let me film in there to show everyone it's truly magical.
Where is she, California?
No, that's Canada.
Oh, in Canada.
Best shop in town for sure.
All right.
And Tanji says, hello, Dragler. And then Celtic says, no, and it says, hello to Celtic God, big purple art. And then Thomas Dale says, the Three Stooges could make Toothache funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never really got into the Three Stooges. I think they was too American for me.
Well, I like Laurel and Hardy,
Yeah.
and I also like Rick Mail and Aid Edmondson in Bottom. Rod Gilbert, I think he's brilliant.
Yes, he's funny.
I like Alan Carr.
Yeah.
Because again, he tells it as it
Chatty
is.
man.
Yeah, I think he's brilliant. I do like Keith Lemon.
Have you watched the Big Nasty Show?
No,
Very funny, that.
but I think I can't. Yeah, I won't mention names because I'll probably get sued. But 9/10 they sit there and they think, oh, you know, I'm the king boss, and these new people I've never heard of them, and they come out with stupid rubbish, and you think that's not comedy, man.
I mean, I often watch TV and I think, by gosh, we're better on TV.
Yeah.
Put us on TV, BBC.
Well, I mean, you see some of them and you just wonder why. 10 out of 10 for
This time
now.
next year, you could be on the One Show.
Whoa,
Now, go back to the comment.
Anita Rani.
Now, if you don't know what the One Show is, it's just a show on
It's a
BBC.
chat show, isn't
yeah,
it?
not a bad show.
Yeah,
Been on for a long time now, hasn't it?
yeah.
Now, Dragler says we have a lot of medieval shops in Germany.
Ah.
Hope to go there again one day.
Yeah, well, my father used to go a lot to Dusseldorf and Cologne, and he actually learnt German for a correspondence course. I'd love to go to Germany. There was a program, you've never heard of them probably, Hairy Bikers.
Hairy bikers, yes.
And they had proper Black Forest Gatter.
They're like two men with hairy beards that ride bikes and cook
Yeah.
food.
And
Just checking the battery,
yeah.
61%.
To me, Germany, it just appeals to me. So a big wunderbar and thumbs up to our guys in Germany.
I enjoyed going to Germany. The society I was in, the American Civil War Society, was paid by the British Army to go over to Germany and put on some shows at the British military base at Paderborn. And Paderborn is basically just a small village or town full of nightclubs, whorehouses and bars, basically, and an army base.
I know
Are we
that
there still? I don't know.
my father had big friends, and it was Herr Gutmann, and he used to call me Little Simon. And the reason I have a purse now is because Herr Gutmann used to have a purse. He was very popular because he always had a brown paper bag full of sweeties for me. And yeah, he used to love asparagus soup. Weird. I mean, I think that's a German thing, but yeah, bring on the Black Forest Gatto. And of course, one of the best kept secrets in Germany is their wine. People say, oh, Liebfraumilch. No, mate. You go to Germany, they've got the best stuff there. And I like Liebfraumilch. I don't care what anybody
I like
says.
schnapps, so I've been lovely and sorted in Germany.
I've never had schnapps.
I can drink it by the barrel.
And you go to the beer kellers and they've got proper beer. Very civilised country.
Well, I got it when we did an event over there. We got invited to a traditional German wedding. Very, very fun. I really enjoyed myself that night. Lots of traditional dancing.
All bar bands.
And beer.
And sausages.
Lederhosen.
Schweinknuckle.
Oh yeah. And they had a beer called Das Schweitz, which was a black lager. Lovely it was.
Well, pumpernickel, it translates to quite amusing.
Now, got a couple of comments to catch up on. So Thomas Dale says on the comment from Tanji, he says, yay, I imagine the old curiosity shop. Do they have a Mogwai? Trust you, Thomas, to come out that one.
Yeah, okay.
Now, we have a comment here from Ancient Survival. And he was a chap that was talking about how the Germanic or the Germans got the first part of the name from the spear, from Jer.
Yeah.
We were talking about that today, so fascinating.
Here's the, I don't know if you can see it.
Well, maybe up close. Can't include a picture.
Yeah. That tattoo there is Gar. It's Anglo-Saxon rune, and it's Gar, the spear that from Gungnir, the spear that Odin had. When you throw it, it comes back to you, and this is to stop curses sticking on you.
And we are going to film that video where Egil shows his tattoos off.
Woof, woof.
And we're going to start it with Egil turning into the incredible Egil by tearing off an old tunic.
Not this one.
No.
This one's been...
I'm going to have to make a tattoo one. Or what one I bought for £10 the other day.
Paper.
No, we'll make one. Well, just for the effect for the video, I will sew one up.
Trousers as well, because I've got tattoos on the legs.
Well, we'll figure that one out.
That's got you wondering.
Ancient Survival in Lacasena, Loke he insults Heimdall by saying he must sit with a straight back. This may reference a lost poem, or perhaps because he is said to act as a watchman.
Well, I can only speak for this country, but a lot of the old sagas and things and a lot of poems got lost when the Reformation came, and they actually found part of a poem in the Victorian times as part of a book binding. There's only 2/3 of it. How many other documents got lost or destroyed, we don't know. But such a shame. But
well, I think when they release time travel or holographic time travel, we come up with some kind of arrangement we can go back in the past for this information. Should we go back for it? And could we go back? Well, you know. Well,
I'm sure there's people out there who can
it is a big debate though. Let's say tomorrow NASA said, oh, we have discovered time travel. Do we debate sending people back in the past to gain knowledge?
Maybe that's what ghosts are. Failed time travellers.
Spooky.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Woof.
I've been wanting to say that for years on the camera.
Okay.
So there's some more comments. Just give me a minute. So Tangerine says yes.
Hi.
Thomas, they do. Laughs out loud. And Tangy says, hello, ancient survival, and a big purple heart. And Thomas Dale says, laughs out loud. And Tangy says, yes, all the magical creatures in inanimate form. Laughed out loud.
Inanimate form,
yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was a student, we used to have a brilliant craft shop. You have to call them craft shops. And I met some very nice people who ran it. We had people of all faiths there. There was even nuns thumbing through stuff.
Oh.
But unfortunately...
Was it a nun on the one?
I don't know, but she went white as a pancake when she was reading Aleister Crowley.
This reminds me of Dad's Army now, with Corporal Jones
Yeah.
always going on about men dressing up as nuns in the
Yeah.
war. Did that really happen?
Yeah, well, it was a rumour put around that there were German paratroopers as nuns.
Because it's quite interesting how they also used ghosts to scare people away from
Yeah.
sites that were very sensitive, didn't they?
Yeah.
And created rumours about spirits.
However, now I think most of the craft shops have gone, unless you go to somewhere like Glastonbury. But if you go online, you'll find various outlets. Don't know if we're allowed to mention them.
Well, yes, if you want to.
Well, the one I used to go to was run by a guy called Ben Fernie, Caduceus Books. He is online, and this guy is fantastic. If you're out there, Ben, hi. We'll have to catch up sometime. It's been 20 odd years more. But
Is he still alive?
yeah, he's younger than you.
Oh,
Probably.
right, that's all right then.
But he's got a working knowledge of so many things, and you can order books from him.
Oh, we do like books here, don't we?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got amazing books. I mean, he had, when I was there was Hopkins' book on ley lines, first edition. 2 first editions of Aleister Crowley. Mind you, they're 300 quid each, but they are rare. So anyway.
Well, a comment here from Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
My granddad went to Germany a few times for Rhine River cruises.
All right, he wasn't dropping bombs on them.
Lost connection.
Yeah.
I was thinking, was that with Viking River cruises?
Yeah, possibly.
Let me go over there, get connection. You
I
carry
mean,
on.
they do that, but
Come back, connection. Come back.
it's as I say, Germany is just an amazing place from what I've seen. They've got good food, good beer, and good company. Yeah, okay, they got a shady past, so has all of us. I mean, nobody's got clean hands from the past, and it's time to move on.
Dad's good.
Yeah. And let's embrace this culture while we can, you know. I mean, there's nothing wrong in that. And any more German colleagues, please text us, ring us, whatever. We've got time to talk to you. And we have a lot more in common than people think.
Well, it wouldn't be who we are without the Germanics. I mean,
Well, that's it. I mean, we're Germanic, Norse. The tradition is deep within us. Well, it is in England anyway.
so Celtic God says Germanic equals crazy spearmen.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Well, we're all crazy guys, you know.
Of course, that interesting sun disk they found in Germany is very interesting.
There's some very interesting finds in Germany, even a conical hat that dates from, if my memory serves me, Bronze Age. It's about that high.
Is that the metal one?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know the one.
yeah. And again, I think we underestimate our ancestors. They had a bigger working knowledge than people think. I can't find the illustration, but I have seen a brooch. And it looks like bumps and circles.
Yeah.
Till you tip it to the side, and it's almost a line of planets.
Oh. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Now, they knew about planets and things like that. Are you all right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Take my belt off.
And it makes you wonder. I mean, it's things like, it's never reported, but the ancient Egyptians would go to Norway to check the time. Make
What,
sure the calendar's right.
What, they go that far?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because there's
If it doesn't fit with
there's a guy on the internet, and he talks about how there was lots of these old monuments in the oceans which kind of told people where they were, and these monuments got taken down by ancestors.
Could be. We don't.
His name is a guy called Cliff High, and he's famous because he created a algorithm robot which predicts the future.
Well, the thing is, there are things out there, A, that we don't know of, and B, we think we know, but we've got completely wrong.
Tangi's back. Hello.
Hi, Tangi. And, you know, archaeology is like history, is a very political thing. There are certain aspects of it which I find very unsavoury, and there are parts that are great fun. But we all put these bits of knowledge together, but unfortunately, and it's not just now, it's throughout the whole of history. History is a tool used by politicians and people in power to build up their own particular structure and to denigrate others.
Well, they say that the people who win write history, don't they?
Yeah, but also, it's, I mean, you know, in classic cases, the First World War. When it first came out, the generals were, oh, great, wonderful. Then, in the 70s, all these comments were generals were idiots, lions led by donkeys, which is an inaccurate quote, because that quote was from the Franco-Prussian War, and it was the Prussians describing the French army, not the British. Alan Clark wrote a book about it, and it became, oh, they thought that about the British generals. And it's something that really annoys me, because you got this interplay between politicians and soldiers, and the politicians were more sinning than sinned against. No names, no factual, but let's just say I'm on the side of the generals. It's becoming more balanced.
Well, we should always be on side of the soldier, because the soldier is innocent at the end of the day. It's just a man doing a job or a woman doing a job.
Well, let's put it this way.
Modern world.
If the generals start telling the politicians how to rule the country, then the politicians can start. It's a long discussion, which I'm afraid a lot of people will find boring.
So let's go back to some comments. So Celtic God says, short boar spear, one of my favourites. Weapons, agree there. And Tangerine Layla says, the Sleepy Oracle. She says, thank you, Thomas, Big Purple Art. And then she says, thank you, Bragi and Egil. It's good to be back with you all.
Yeah, yeah, great.
Well, you're always welcome on the channel. Love to see you here.
Well, interesting fact about boar spears. Henry VIII, Tudor times, that'll be what, about 200, 300?
Well, it's 1400s, isn't
yeah.
it? Around about that.
He brought in law about the spear shafts being checked, because wild boars are they're not like other creatures where other animals, including humans, run away from pain. Wild boars don't. They run up the shaft and will gore you.
What's the twin city of Derby? In
Osnabrück.
Osnabrück.
Yeah.
So Derby is actually twinned
Yeah.
where we come from, or Northworthy,
Yeah.
as we used to call it, with
Well,
Osnabrück.
we
Quite
ha-
proud of that.
When I worked at the museum, the industrial museum as was, the mayor of Osnabrück came over, and I'll be honest, he could have had a better reception.
Celtic God's going, see Celtic.
Sir Celtic, but I actually spoke to him in the very limited German I had. Guten Tag, ich heiße Simon, ich heiße du. What's your name? And I said, that's about the limit of it, mate. But, yeah, I'd love to go to Osnabrück.
So a great comment here from Ancient Survival, just talking
Hi.
about these pointed hats, and he says, I wonder if there's any energetic property to pointed hats. And let me just continue. The golden hats in Germany, the Scythian hats and the Egyptian later hennons.
Yeah.
Because we do have a pointy hat, which is one I made many years ago. And you don't often see a conical hat in reenactment, really.
And yet, if you see the statue of Thor,
Of course.
it's got the conical hat.
Well, maybe not such a steep angle, but yes.
Well, again, if you look at manuscripts from that time, everybody's wearing a conical hat. Whether I assume it's leather.
Yeah, well, I studied it for a while, and I've decided that they'll be made out of wool with a lining of felt, because if you need something to stiffen it to stay conical.
It's probably just an old style.
You
that
could have a
people
leather
like.
inside, but I don't think it would.
It's like
Been
women.
very nice,
It's
isn't
like
it?
women
Thin.
in the peak cap. It's every generation discovers it. Yeah, you see Victorian women with peak caps. My mum had one.
It's actually one of my favourite hats to wear, because it's such a great look on you.
I think I look like a gardener.
And of course, we took a load of profile pictures of Egil wearing hats today.
Yeah, that was illuminating.
And yes, Tangi, we are going to make the video on how to make a good cup of British tea.
That will be great fun.
Yes, and we also. So thanks for letting me know about
Are
that.
we using tea bags or loose tea?
Oh no, we're using a combination of 2 tea bags. It'll be Tetley and Earl Grey.
Oh, I've got some. Yeah, the
That's
Earl
how
Grey.
I do it. Perhaps you want to make your own version.
That
We could
is
have 2 teapots.
disgusting.
It's What disgusting.
Oh, you should have Indian tea. It's good stuff. PG tips. I've got some loose
I like
tea.
PG tips, but they had monkeys on the advert.
Yeah, I've got loose tea.
I like monkeys.
I've got loose tea.
So, yeah, well, we'll figure it out. I've got a couple more comments here to read. One from Dragler. He said, not far from Dusseldorf, where I live, there's a huge caveman museum.
Yeah.
Neanderthals. Now, if you're into that subject, we do urge you to go and check out a channel called Stefan Milo. Very good. He kind of concentrates on that kind of a subject.
Well, I don't actually know what my father got up to, but he went on business to Dusseldorf quite a lot. But I tell you what, he used to bring back these beautiful biscuits. They were dark chocolate. And he used to bring these back. The nearest we got is from the pound shop around Christmas time. But Dad always brought them back from Dusseldorf.
Yes, I'm terrible at pronouncing names. Dragler.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not his fault. He can't help it.
How do you pronounce that? You pronounce
I can't
that.
even see it.
Here it is, glasses.
Yeah.
I could have gave you permission to wear glasses.
What, do you want me to go and get them?
No, you, wait, unless you want to.
Yeah. I might help you out. Hang on a bit. I'm just going to get my...
Oh, or is it, I think you might be drawing to Kanji, actually. No, auto-spelling is a pain. I get it on my mobile. Neanderthal is so great, inspiring to me, because they are such a fascinating subject. Yeah. And we often think of Neanderthals being not very intelligent, but one example, let's say
their brains are bigger than
you're
ours.
a Neanderthal and you got lice. Now, how would we deal with that? We'll probably struggle. Yeah. Neanderthal will go and sit on an ant's nest and let the ants crawl over them and take the lice away.
Well,
how ingenious is that?
I was once going to do a lecture called My Brother is an Hairy Man.
Yes.
Because some people are very hairy and others aren't. And I thought, well, why is this? I came to the conclusion, this is what, 20, 30 years ago, that Homo sapiens mated with Neanderthals. And I was told, no way, blah, 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 you're an idiot and everything else. When I left university in South Africa, they found the head of a 4-year-old boy.
Yes.
And guess what? It was a mixture of Neanderthal and Homo sapiens.
Yes. It doesn't make sense that they didn't breed and trade each other.
Well, they said, oh, they were silly, the Neanderthals lived in a valley. It's warmer in a valley than on top of a hill.
Yeah.
The brains are 10% bigger than Homo sapien. And let's think of it this way. Homo sapiens have come out of Africa, which is hot.
Yes.
Into Europe, which is cold.
Oh, yeah, way colder.
However, the natives there, the Neanderthals, helped them out. And then eventually, either they outbred them or they were slaughtered.
Yeah.
Your scabbard's catching on wire. One interesting fact about the Neanderthals were we checked skeletons on a certain collection, and it was found everyone had 100% of them had breakages. The nearest breakages were rodeo riders in America. So we're figuring these guys leapt on the back of these animals and suffered usually by falling off or injuring themselves in that way. The average Neanderthal was horrendously strong. I mean, we're talking stronger than Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you're watching High. Thanks for Conan.
Hasta la vista, baby.
But I mean, you know,
I'll be back.
he was and is a very strong man, but Neanderthal was even stronger. So, yeah, it's interesting to look at these things.
Well, you got to love Arnie, ain't he? But his films are great
I
back in the
think
day.
he's fantastic. I really like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Conan the Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
Egil the Barbarian, soon to be filmed.
I admire his films. I admire his. Because he came to America. He was a multimillionaire by then. He had a building firm.
Yes.
But it takes some cojones to come and do what he did. And people used to take the mickey out of him early on. But hey, look at him now. You know, if you're watching Arnie, thanks.
I don't think he's subscribed to the channel yet.
You don't know.
I don't know. I think he's on YouTube though. He does have a YouTube channel. I do believe so. Because sometimes he dresses up like the Terminator and stands still and surprises people. That's the way Arnie floats.
I like those films. I think they're
Now,
brilliant.
a couple of comments. Let's go back to Lee. We do like reading your comments. So, here, we'll give him a minute. Oh, sorry. I read that one. Yay. A British tea video from the both of you will make my day.
Absolutely super.
Spiffing, old chap, spiffing.
Do you take milk and sugar?
Type of tea. What? Yes, it would sound posh to say what at the end of a conversation. Now,
just get me slightly tipsy and I sound like Prince
yeah,
Charles.
get some brandy down him. Be on the other channel that.
Mahatma Gandhi.
Yes, and I've also got a very clever way of how we're going to introduce the video as a comedy sketch.
Oh well.
So we're going to
look out for that.
Yeah, can't wait for that one. It's going to take a bit of filming, but it's going to be funny. And we now have 7 people watching.
Hi.
Look at that, Egil, you're popular.
Ah, well, we try our
Wave
best.
to the audience, Egil.
Hi.
Now, going back to some more of the comments. As an ancient atmosphere is still there. Oh, yes. And Thomas Dale says, Tangerine, a berserker tea party. Yeah, that'll be mainly an axe and me smashing up teapots.
Not my Brian. I've got a brown teapot called Brian.
Brian?
Yeah, because he looked like my mate Brian.
Man. I just remembered.
Wow.
The old pipe, Steve.
Yeah, Steve the Pipe.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Steve.
Yeah. Steve was lost somewhere in Lancashire. But I have many other friends.
Do you want to put a call out for him in case anybody's found him?
I think I know where it
Egil
is.
smokes a pipe, and once he had a pipe, and for years he called it Steve, and it was always a joke, how Steve the Pipe, and he lost it.
I've got Damien, and I've got Dave, and I've got Ernie.
Now, go back to some more comments. And Tangi to Thomas comments of a Berserker Tea Party says, oh yes, Thomas. And she also said, like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
Well, I know 1 or 2 tales about a magical cow.
Ricula.
Yeah. And Tangi says, Robbie Williams was a very hairy man, almost like a bear. But that's very true, isn't it? He was.
Well, my eldest
Rest
brother.
in peace to him. He was very funny.
I've got hairy arms, but my eldest brother looks like a busted mattress.
You know, some days you do meet men and even some ladies are scared to say, but they are very, very hairy.
Well, that's the thing, is I looked at that and I thought, well, why is that?
But then that can also be, there's a medical condition, isn't there? The werewolf syndrome, where
we're not as bad as that.
where people are very hairy. So let's remember that.
I just thought it would make a nice lecture.
So Joel Coldearth,
Joel.
he's just arrived on the channel and he says, Hail, Egil and Bragi.
Hail.
Hail, Joel Coldearth. How you are our very good friend. And Rick Hardson's here, another of our Viking brothers. And let's not forget our Viking sisters too.
Yeah,
so
especially our
good
Viking
afternoon,
sisters.
Gentlemen.
Hi, ladies.
Hoping
gentlemen.
the live stream is going super.
Yeah, my back's
Old
killing
Bean,
me.
Toddly Pip.
Toddly Pip.
Toddly Pip. Never thought I'd say that in a comment.
Wow.
Thomas says, hello, Eric. And Thomas says, hello, Joel Colduff. And then Tangi says, hello, Joel. And then Ancient Survival. I know, Old Grey. It's a traditional serve with lemon.
It's horrible.
But a hot cup of it on a cold morning makes life worth living.
No,
Well, it's more better if
Grey.
you've got a nice Tetley tea bag in there.
It's better if with Tetley, Earl Grey. I'll tell you how to brew it.
Yeah.
You put the hot water in the tea bag, then you go to the sink.
This is
and
exclusive.
You tip it down the sink.
Yeah.
Wash the cup out and get proper tea, Indian tea, because tea's brown. And you put a bit of milk in it. Make sure it's boiling. Let it stand for 3 minutes, and you got a decent cup of tea. Earl Grey is the invention of Beelzebub.
You're not warmed up the cups to begin with.
Nah,
You've got to have hot cups.
Nah, it could burn your lips.
Bone china or normal cup?
Bone china.
Always.
I have a mug,
What?
thanks to a friend of mine, Melanie, and it's china.
Now, when we went to America here in acting, we all took bone china tea cups with us because we're British and we drank tea right at the Battle of Gettysburg.
Tastes a lot better.
I think we're the only British men to get tea during the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah, well, coffee's nice. I drink a lot of coffee.
Up the Union. And anyway, moving on from that rather quickly. Don't upset any of my Confederate friends.
Yeah.
I don't think they're watching. So, you'd smell them first. Well, I'm a Unionist.
That's his opinion, not mine.
No, actually, whenever I go on camp, I always end up around the evening with the Confederates because they generally have better beer and more singing. So anyway, carrying on from that. Anyway, Eric Rickardson says, I'm doing very well, thanks Tangerine, enjoying the week off. Oh, have a nice week off. What you been up to? Anything fun? Like you've been getting some beer down here.
Wolf.
Some days I feel like I'm having a long week off. Now, moving on from that one quickly.
You've got every food.
What do you think about the refugee crisis? Well, that's a bit of a question, that.
What refugees? There's Syria, there's...
Well,
it's an unfortunate thing.
it is an unfortunate thing in the modern world we live in.
It is highly political, and
Yes.
we don't actually do politics.
No, generally not on the channel, no.
But anybody in distress is upsetting, and we do what we can.
Well, it's about time we become a little bit more compassionate on the planet and remember that we're all human beings of the same race and we should get on
Well, hey, how about this?
start making love, not war.
making war.
Yeah.
Stop causing wars, and the problem's
No, well,
solved.
what we actually need to do, and it's very, very simple, we just need to become a level 1 civilization. Once you become a level 1 civilization, you'll get rid of all these problems.
Yeah, well,
And I do dream and hope the day that will happen.
yeah, I hope everybody's
Whether
all
the
right.
aliens are going to come in and help that, I don't know.
However, it's a bit political.
It is a bit political, and I got my ideas about it, but I don't really want to go too much into that.
Yeah, same.
You know,
Yeah,
if you are a refugee, then that's not a good situation to be in.
if you're refugee, yeah.
But let's talk about refugees back in the Dark Ages.
It's a different matter.
Would they have them?
Well, people would flee. I imagine if your village is being attacked by the Vikings, you ain't going to hang around, are you? Because you're either going to be killed or enslaved.
Just check the battery power.
But,
What it attacks this week? Eric.
having said that, I mean,
43%. We're alright for a bit.
there's more areas where you can hide out. You haven't got the social structures we have today, so you probably end up getting killed or die. So I'm sure there were people who survived it, but
When all I say on the refugee crisis is that I think in the life and the world we live in, there's a much larger hand at play. That is all I'm going to say on that.
no, I think we'd best leave that subject.
Now, Eric Rickardson says, that's great to hear, Thomas. Hope you're enjoying the stream as I am. Yes, I always enjoy these streams, and it's great to hang out with so many of you lovely people.
Tell a friend.
And Eric says, thank you, brothers, Bragi. I'll just get the message back. I've just celebrated my after half's birthday yesterday. My other half's birthday,
Other half.
I've seen we must met, and had a few drinks. Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah, go for it, man. But, I hope your lady wife did. I'm assuming it's
And Ancient
lady.
Survival, just on this refugee chat, he said, we are refugees from the 21st century. Well,
I suppose,
yeah, I would go back in the past and live there, but I wouldn't know what time to choose.
I would like to live in possibly the future, but the past is great to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there. Taiki,
I mean, do
say
you
that.
think we would often in the future be going on holidays to the past?
You never know. Time's sick might end up going back to the past. You never know.
Who knows? One day you could be a captain of a starship. Captain Egil.
Yeah, maybe in a few other lifetimes.
Yeah, I think that's a long way away. Moving on from that one.
I haven't even got a car at the moment, so...
Yes, I'll keep talking.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Any more questions on runes?
Well, I don't know. I mean...
I'm asking them, not you.
oh, right. Well, let's see what they say.
So Tangy says, me too, Egil. The future is a trip. Well, yes, life is a journey, and we should have fun doing so. That's a doorbell. Probably a parcel for me. It's all right. It'll be sorted.
That lady, what's her name?
Yeah. Oh, that's Christina. Hello, Christina.
Okay, Christina, sorry.
You carry on. I'll go and check that.
Okay, well,
Carry on. You got Egil to yourself for a few minutes, folks.
yeah, I'll be talking, so I can't answer questions because he knows how to do it. Questions on runes? Yeah, well, there's loads and loads of questions that need to be asked. But the main thing is you've got to get used to using your intuition. There are books out there, and as I've said before, what I think is great ain't necessarily what you think is great, and I give the bare bones of it. Magic, well, No, I don't teach people that. That's not my place, because you can get into a heck of a lot of trouble, and you're dealing with people who are perhaps at the end of their emotional tether. So you're not a doctor, you're not a lawyer, and you're not a psychiatrist. You can give you advice, but tell them that in the first place, because you can come to grief on it. Another thing is, keep a professional distance, like a teacher and pupils. Keep a distance, that way you can do your job and they can learn. So yeah, that's it on the rune front, I guess. But like I say, if you do have questions about runes, let us know. I will try and answer them wherever I can. Obviously nobody's the fount of all knowledge, and there are various courses if you want to go further. Again, the quality of the course, it's up to you. If you can get a prospectus or something, or what you're supposed to be doing. There are weekend courses, I'm sure, on the internet. There's lots of them. Check them out, see how you feel, and good luck to you. But as I say, Bragi's gone off to sort a parcel out. I don't know what's going on there, but if you got any other questions, please let us know. At the moment, I don't know how to operate this computer, and he'll be back in a minute. I can hear him, but I can't see him. But as I say, always leave us a comment. We'll get back. Oh, here he comes.
So it was the one of the local from the church just collecting for charity.
I'm not going to comment on that.
So I just gave him a few pennies. Always like to support.
We're from the Church of Olding.
Oh yeah.
Give us a few pennies, dear.
Bugger off. Well, you know, I like to, it's all a good cause, and with, you know, if you've got a bit of coin, you can afford to support a bit of a charity. A big charity I supported was Bernardo's.
A big charity is me.
Yeah, well, we're not set up. Oh, and a comment the other day from Tangi. She said, "When is there going to be a Bragi and Egil movie?"
Well, have a word with Hollywood and we'll be
Steven Spielberg?
Yeah.
But we're not getting J.J. Abrams in because he ruined Star Trek. Only a friend of mine will get that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
He did ruin Star Trek though.
I'm not a great Trekkie. I'll watch it if it's on.
But do you prefer Star Wars or Star Trek?
I don't care.
There you go.
Sorry. To me, it's still blokes with bits of rubber stuck to their face. And I know the sci-fi people out there are condemning me, but it's all right to watch. It's like Doctor Who if it's on and I feel in the mood.
We've got to do the Doctor Who Tic Tac sketch. I'll keep forget about that one. So going back to some of your comments.
Yeah.
Oh, could you please wish you a happy birthday from me, my brothers? So we'd just like to wish Rickardson's girlfriend, I do believe.
Happy birthday.
Very happy birthday.
Yeah, many of them.
We won't sing you a song.
No, because it's copywritten.
It probably would be.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
You get half a cent, I think. But anyway,
that's what we
happy
get.
birthday
Happy
to you,
birthday.
babe. Hope you have a nice cake. And yeah, hang in there,
Get
babe.
lots of prezzies and
have a bit of fun. Because you know, girls, they want to have fun.
they love a good birthday. Is
Cindy
it the same for men? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my last
like a
birthday
birthday.
was quite happy. It's another ring round the old tree of life.
So Ancient Survival left a comment, and this is quite interesting. That are you familiar with rune songs?
Yeah, the Gulders.
They would make a fantastic episode.
Now, there are, we call them Gulders. It's like yodel with the runes. Yeah, that's where yodeling comes from.
Yeah.
And also runic yoga, where you yourself form the shape of the rune, which can be bloody difficult.
Reminds me of the Lorna Hardy film, Swiss Miss. Great film, that. Set in the Alps.
First off,
It's got a monkey in it.
First of all, they yodel to communicate between valleys.
Yeah.
But there are also runic chants as well.
I don't know much about that, but I know about it because I've seen it in the tag comment. When I'm writing the tag, it comes up, rune songs.
Yeah.
So I was quite curious about that.
And it's a form of chanting, enhancing the power of the rune. Yeah. For that,
I mean, you look at the shamans and how they chant to get in a chant.
there is a book by Edred Thorsson called Fourth Arc. It's got runic yoga and things in that.
There's another guy out there called Egil Thorsson.
Yeah, that's...
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
Now, yes, so that's very interesting, that.
Mm.
And I will have a look at these rune songs. Of course, I'm dreading, we're not far away now from me publishing that video where I sing a song.
Earplugs will be stuck.
Yes, I might make it very suddenly unlisted after about 24 hours. To be fair, it's not bad, was it? Right, going back, here we go.
So I've got to walk back, remember.
Yeah, well, we are going to finish soon because Egil does have to run back and it's just gone 7.
I've got about an hour's walk.
Well, I'll give you the bus fare, more than happy. It's only £2.60.
I hope you heard it.
What's £2.60? That's about $4, folks. So we'll come in a couple more minutes, then we'll finish because the battery's going to run out soon.
And I will as well. But anyway, it's always good to have a chit chat with you all. Keep doing this. I think it's a good idea. Say every Friday.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we can do one a week or one every 2 weeks, I mean, the more the better, really. Because when you're trying to get to those 4,000 hours of watch time to be monetarised, you know, you do want to become monetarised as a channel.
Well, yeah.
Although we're never going to go crazy on the adverts like a lot of channels do. You know.
See how it goes.
Then
it's up to you guys out there to see how far we go. And
well, these live streams, not only do they give a massive peak in your channel boost, and you know you have a flat line and suddenly massive peak because you've done a live stream, so it will get us more impressions and it attracts people. And at the end of the day, folks do want live streaming because it's a good way to interact.
Well, it's nice to have a chat, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
but we're on 2 hours, so I think about Egil's getting that time there is.
Back.
Yeah, you got a sore bum. It's hitting down too much.
No, it's my back actually.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why, because I'm sitting on your cushion.
Don't
swap positions. There's a cushion here.
It's a bit late now, matey.
You sat in the wrong place again.
Story of my life.
Egil has all the luck.
Yeah, bad luck. But keep sending your comments in, and next live chat, have a chit chat with us.
Bragi, sing it in your Marilyn Monroe voice. I didn't know I had a Marilyn Monroe voice.
A kiss on the hand can be quite continental.
Yes, that's about the most singing you're going to get from Egil, I think.
Oh, you never know.
And Eric Wickerson says, thank you, brothers, and that's for the birthday wish.
Okay.
So,
yeah, well, wish you our best. And
keep your comments coming and keep sharing the content. If any of you guys can share any of the content on Reddit for us, I know that would be a massive help. I've just not got high enough ranking in Reddit to share stuff enough.
This is total gibberish.
Yes, well,
I have no idea.
Do you know what Reddit is?
No.
It's just another communication site.
All I know is there's a joke about a frog who's got books going, Reddit.
Now, the thing about Reddit is you can share a video and the next minute you'll have like over 1 million views on it.
Sounds good to
me.
me.
Reddit makes viral videos.
Alright. Now we know.
There you go. So you get changed and I'll just carry on this live for a few minutes.
Well,
we won't turn the camera around.
Let me just say...
Egil gets changed, I promise you that.
It ain't nothing you haven't seen before. Anyway, it's good to hear from you all. And until we meet again, bye.
And I'll just wind this live stream up. So...
Do you want me to leave my belt out?
Yeah, do leave your belt out because I'm determined to video it this weekend and get that video done. So I'm also itching to watch that video I recorded the other day and see how bad it is. But we'll carry on.
Wait till you hear the 3 little pigs.
Well, I thought that was very funny, that version.
Yeah, let's hope people out there do.
Note to self, put Roman Biscotti on Reddit. Laughs out loud. Oh yes, it's bound to go viral on there. And that was a very funny video.
Alright.
Yes, I'll show you some more of Tangi's video next time you're here, Egil.
Yeah. It's always nice to hear from Tangi. She's the last with the pink hair, isn't she?
Yes. I think she has many wigs.
Oh, I thought she dyed her hair.
No.
Am I being a purist again?
Indeed you are.
Well, that's a good idea. If she sends us a few pics. Be nice to see.
Well, another thing I've said to people on the channel, and I said this to Eric,
yeah.
if anybody wants to actually record a folk tale as a collab,
Yeah.
All it has to be is one of the folk tales we've told or from the list we've got, which I can provide you with. And as long as it's in HD and preferably filmed on a tripod and not in your hand. And then if you can somehow compress the file or email me the video, then what we'll do, me and Egil will film an intro and we'll do some collabs. Because I think that'll be a great way to get folk tales on the channel from other countries and other cultures. So
they don't even have to be in English.
No, fundamentally so. If you want to speak in another language, that's great. We may not understand what that story's about, but we'll have to talk about that one a bit more.
Yeah.
So let's have a look, see if any more comments before I close this live stream down.
I've got my shirt sleeves are stuck. Oh, yeah, we got it.
That's always a problem with trying to get your tunic off. Well, what I always do, I take my tunic off and I forget to take my silver bangles off, and they always get caught.
On the hilt of my sword, there's my hair tie.
There we go.
Hold on to it.
I will do.
We were a matron. There you go. Cheers.
That's all right. It's not a bad bench, this, is it? If you don't know what we're sitting on, we're actually sitting on a weapons chest. It's full of my swords.
And splinters.
I forgot how many I got now.
You got a lot. Must have at least 10.
No, but I think I got at least 12.
You got quite a few, I know that. You bought a lot off of Taiki, didn't you?
I did buy quite a few from Turkey.
Because he had a lot. Let's call me Johnny One Sword.
Oh, we bought that sword over here for you to use. Of eBay.
That's alright.
It's a nice one, this, but it's nice and light.
Well, I mean, the one I've got is pleasant, you know.
It reminds me, I got to actually reply to the comment than mine if he sold it to me.
Yeah.
Because he told me about the history of it.
Nice sword.
So, I think we're going to go off now. So, goodbye, folks.
Bye.
We'll see you in the next live stream. Probably next Friday if we can, or a week Friday.